you know, it could go into something, it could become something good. You know, it might not turn into anything, who knows? But at least those people get an opportunity and to share in their Bakersfield history itself.
Troubles will come, troubles will go. And one thing that's for sure, I know, if I get to heaven, ain't gonna swear no more, ain't gonna stand tall and help the ones before they fall, and send some love back to my hometown. If I get to heaven, I'm gonna spend some time with my grandma and meet Babe Ruth, play baseball and sit back with Hank and write a song or two, and be right there to welcome folks in, saying it's sure good to see you again, and soak up the smiles and hugs and we missed you. Pray every day for the ones from down there living, if I get to heaven. No, I've never been one to beg, but one thing you can count on is if I get to heaven, I'm gonna find God, shake his hand, tell him thanks for taking a chance on me. If I get to heaven, walk through these gates and find a bar, sit on the stage, play guitar and watch the angels in the crowd sing along. Right there to welcome folks in, saying it's sure good to see you again. I never knew it feels so good to be this gone. And pray every day for the ones from down there living, if I get to heaven. If I get to heaven, if I get to heaven.
Hey everybody, this is Billy at BTUFF, man. I got something super special for you today. Here with Joe Peters, man, and man, I kind of known your family for a long time. Your dad's a great guy, your brother's a good dude, real family-oriented family here.
Yeah,
and one thing about Joe here, man, is I've been watching you. How long have you been playing music?
I started playing music and started writing stuff pretty heavy back in about 2009, 2007, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, about, you know, what's the math on that?
Yeah.
Over 10 years. So.
You know the thing, like, I remember watching you at first, and please don't take offense to this, but it's like, man, he's got a lot to learn, you know, because I think that you even knew that, right?
Absolutely.
And you've really come a long way. I mean, I hear your stuff now, what you've been doing. I'm like, whoa, he's getting close here. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? I think you're, because you've become a songwriter. Right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I started writing a lot of stuff, and I think early on for me I was you know, pretty juvenile in a lot of the ways I was writing and a lot of the songs that I was wanting to play and how I was wanting to project myself. And I think I was in it for the wrong reasons, or doing it for the wrong reasons. And so now, you know, things happen at the right time for the right reason. And I think now I've got a lot more a lot more life experience, a lot more things that have kind of come up over the years that make me want to write different things, and all these experiences have kind of culminated into the songs that I'm starting to write today. And unbeknownst to me, some of them, you know, are a little bit more tolerable, easier to listen to than others. So it kind of makes it it's kind of a win-win situation, you know.
Do you think that sometimes that artists get, like you said something was really interesting. You said that like you weren't true to yourself, right? And I think a lot of times artists do that. They're trying to be someone else that may be popular for some reason. They want to be that person, so they emulate them, and it doesn't come off right?
Well, it's funny because like I've got my own influences in music. I mean, growing up, I was listening to Motown with my mom. I was listening to, you know, Robert Palmer with my dad, and Hank Williams, and you know, all these people across the board. And then my brother got me into Danzig and NoFX, and you know, all the, you know, modern country artists. So like the influences are all over across the board, and so you want to try to emulate somebody, but it doesn't always come off the way that it should. And it's, you know, it's funny too because, you know, at a time I had roommates in my house, and so when I'd write music, I'd have to be a lot quieter because I didn't want to disturb them, and I have to do things differently. So I'd always be writing slow songs and sad songs because that's all I could really do without disturbing them. I didn't want to, you know.
Yeah.
So you kind of deal with what you're given, and you deal with you know, kind of your influences, and you know, sometimes you'll write stuff that you would like to write, but it just doesn't come out. It's all mashed up, and it's just because it's not you. You know, it's really not you, and so.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the local scene here, because and we had such a great car. I want to make sure that people understand this. I've always been kind of vocal, and I think you probably feel the same way, and a local artist here, that local musicians don't really get radio time maybe like they should.
Not at all. I mean, fact is that this was Nashville West for many years. I mean, this place is such a rich history. You go anywhere, you go to Nashville or Austin, or I mean, any big music city, and you tell them that you're from Bakersfield, you know, they think you're from Mecca. And realistically, I mean, it's when they get here, it's quite the opposite. And you know, last night I did a deal at Bakersfield Sound Co. They have their songwriters night, and it's tremendous. And all those local artists there, all different genres. I mean, you heard some, you know, Christian rock, you heard some indie stuff, you heard rap, you heard everything across the board, and the talent was through the roof. But locally, you've got a few different places, and you know, I hate to put it out there, but you know, Crystal Palace, KZD, a lot of people, they don't get on board with local musicians. And now, don't get me wrong, I don't expect someone to pick up local artists or play them if they're not good, just because they're local artists. I mean, you have to be good for sure. And I don't think maybe I'm that guy to do that. There's a lot of people here in town that are a lot better than me that deserve an opportunity. And I think it kind of does a disservice. You know, we could make music great again here in Bakersfield overnight. You know, I mean, it's really, there's a need for it. There's a drive for it. And, you know, I've always been in the thought process that people don't really want to hear original songs here. They just want to hear you play cover songs. And, you know, you go to a songwriter's night last night and the whole entire music store was packed. I mean, there was 90 people in there. You could have heard a pin drop when people were playing music. I mean, people in this town want to hear live music, and they want to hear original music, and they want to hear local talent. And so it's really, you know, it's kind of a catch, because for a person like myself, you know, where's an outlet for me? You know, how do I find somebody to let me do what I want to do on a bigger level? Who do I talk to? I don't know. You know, this isn't I got a day job. This is what I do for a living. You know what I mean? I don't know the right people to talk to, but I know people at Crystal Palace and KGZ do. That's for damn sure. And so, you know, and I hate to put them out there as like, you know, the be all to end all in town, because there's a lot of people that have influence here. But, and, you know, sorry to use them as an example, but it's just, you know, Crystal Palace, for example. I can't tell you how many artists that I've talked to that would say, look, if we have a main headliner coming and they have an opener that starts at 7 o'clock, 2 hours before, you should have 30-minute slots of local musicians. Obviously, you're going to be bringing in a dinner crowd then. You're bringing more people to the bars. It's really profitable. And they have an opportunity to play on the big stage. And, you know, it could go into something. It could become something good. You know, it might not turn into anything. Who knows? But at least those people get an opportunity and to share in their Bakersfield history itself. I mean, we live here. We're born here. I mean, this is a shared history that we all have. And to be able to experience that on the stage that Brad Paisley and Buck Owens played, and, you know, Luke Combs played, and I mean, all these, shit, what a dream it would be, regardless. I mean, if it goes anywhere or not.
Right. You know, if you look at how music, let's say in the 50s or 60s, it was all done by radio stations giving someone a chance, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's how people got it out there. There wasn't YouTube and all these other outlets and Instagram and things like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't have a large following, you know, but what following that I do have was, you know, grassroots and social media. And I mean, truth be told, it takes work to do all that stuff. And like I said, you know, I'm just a guy who works and then does this at night, you know, and so what time I do spend on it, you know, it's all I've got to do it. I mean, I'm putting a lot of extra work, and you know, help is always wanted. You know, luckily I'm getting people now who are calling and asking me to play different shows and different gigs, and I mean that's so rewarding to me. But you know, it all takes time, and you have to build on this stuff. And you know, I was talking with a few guys that I play with the other day, and it's like, man, how big do you have to get before someone around here that has any influence will pick you up? You know, I've got people in LA and people in Colorado and Nashville that are more willing to help me than people that are around here. That's sad. It's sad. This song was kind of I wrote this song a while back, and it's called My Addiction, and it was a song that I wasn't really sure about, and then I've had a lot of people asking me to play it, and it definitely talks about addiction, and you know, addiction has kind of plagued a portion of my family on my mom's side, and you know, everyone's beaten that now, but you know, it's one of those things where, you know, there's somebody out there that's struggling with this that no one really knows that they're struggling with it. And so I wrote this with that in mind, and I've been starting to play it out there in some different showcases, and I'm actually going to be recording this on Friday. So this song's called My Addiction.
All right.
You stare it down and whisper like it's something that you know. But if souls could talk, I'd shake you to your core. It's hiding in the bright lights, shining through the pain, a loneliness that feeds on your fears. My addiction, my sweet addiction, tells the story of another man you can't see. So I'll hide her, in the dark I'll hide her, and I know that she won't be there to guide me home. So say a silent prayer, not just for me, but my addiction. It chills me to the bone when I think of going home, but it has a way to keep me warm inside. The telephone keeps ringing, so I guess I'll keep singing. And if you see Mom, tell her this song's from me. And my addiction, my sweet addiction, tells the story of another man you can't see. So I'll hide her, in the dark I'll hide her, and I know that she won't be there to guide me home. So say a silent prayer, not just for me, but my addiction. You stare it down and whisper like it's something that you know, but a soul's guitar will shake you to your core.
Man,
That's my addiction.
Seriously, that is like,
Thank you,
man, these songs you're writing are deep, man. Like they are,
Yeah.
I mean, they mean something to you. I could tell, man.
Yeah.
Like you're not faking it, dude, on this stuff, dude. I could tell.
And I think honestly, like, you know, we just talked about it. I mean, it's, you know, a guy told me a while back, I said, I'm having a real tough time just writing nothing but sad songs and all these depressing songs. Like I can't, that's all I'm writing. He said, well, don't fight it, just write it, you know? And so he said, all those emotions, sadness, happiness, depression, all those things are real emotions. And so write all your sad songs while you're sad, write all your happy songs while you're happy, and then one day you can just have a catalog of all this stuff and, you know, pull from it. And so, and that makes a lot of sense. He said, and then, you know, because I don't want to write something that doesn't evoke emotion, happiness, or one way or the other.
Or fake it, right? I mean, like you can tell, if you're writing happy songs and you ain't that place, it's going to come across.
Absolutely. You know, and I think as a person who is a writer, you know, and for myself and listening to songs that people play, a lot of mainstream artists, I know when they're singing sad songs that don't mean anything to them. You know what I mean? And that's a hard thing to kind of accept for myself as a writer. Is I know when people know that if I'm bullshit or not, and I try not to ever lie to the people that are listening to me. So these songs do mean something to me.
Yeah, very good, man. I'll tell you what, man. Well, we're gonna put you in the next edition of Bakersfield Tough. I think it'd be good to get your name. Of course, we love live music, man. If you're watching this video and you think that he did a good job, by all means, share it, because you know it is platforms like Bakersfield Tough that actually help people get out there. You know, I mean, if the radio stations aren't going to do it, well, then that's their loss. But for me, I'm like, well, we have a big crowd here, and we'll get the word out there if we have to. And man, I'm super proud of you, man. I'd like to do more live music with you, dude, later on. What do you think, man? I love it, dude.
I love it, man.
Let's just keep it going, too, sometime.
You want to do
you want to do one more? You want to send us out with one more?
I'll do one more.
All right.
I'll do one more. So, I'll tell you what, I'll do this one. This is a song that I wrote. I debuted this song at Bakersfield Sound Co. just the other last night.
Let's give them a plug real quick. When can they see live music at Bakersfield Sound Co?
That is nothing really consistently. They're trying to do something about once a month. They're on a songwriter's night, and it's growing. Anyone who likes and wants to hear live music and local musicians and not covers. I mean, all the songs that they've written. I mean, the first one, there was 30, 40 people there. Second one, there's 50, 60. Last night, there was 90. So, I mean, it's growing.
If you have never been there, when you show up and you hear what's going on, you are going to be shocked, because it sounds pro level.
No, it's insane.
It's crazy.
The guys that run Bakersfield Sound Co., I mean, they're professionals themselves. So, I mean, the equipment that you use, the setup that they have going is, I mean, it's on point.
And it's free to watch too, right? Is it free to watch, or is it?
No, it's free to watch.
Free to watch, yeah. Okay.
It's free to watch. So
keep an eye on them and call them if you have a question about when they might be playing.
Yeah,
All right.
it's a great place.
And anybody can play too, right?
Yeah. Just call and put your name on a list. And last night was 2 songs. You could play 2 songs, and it was beautiful. You had people that have never played live before, and you had veterans that were in there, and so it was great. And everybody's really supportive too. So if you are new and you want to get out and you want to play, I mean, there's not anybody in there that's gonna, treat you bad or look down. I mean, everyone's gonna be real supportive, happy, and clapping and having a good time. So it's really a good environment to be in.
All right, man, send us out something good here.
All right, so this is a song that I wrote for my 2 older brothers, and they were always the ones that kind of took care of me growing up, and they were always my heroes, and they got me through pretty much everything, every bad time that I had in my life. I could call one of them, and so. Now they're raising families and they have kids, and so every time I see their kids, my nieces and nephews, I always am sure to tell them how lucky they are to have my 2 older brothers as dads. So this is a song I wrote for them. Got 2 brothers, 30 plus. Don't know how, but I ended up creeping on the same age. And I look back and I see a show prisons and rodeos. Can't believe we all made it this far. And I know the things that shaped us, and I know the dreams that we shared and had to let go. But as time will tell, we made it through and we gave it hell. We had no choice, 'cause life kept moving on. But the one thing I will say that got me here today and made me tough and up like no other, my older brothers. It's funny how things have changed. Went from walking to flying on planes, but never forgot where I came from. My brothers, they raised families. The kids say yes sir, no ma'am, please. And I can't wait to tell them our stories. And I know the things that will shape them, and I know the dreams their dads had and hope they achieve. And as time will tell, they'll make it through and they'll give it hell. They'll have no choice, 'cause life keeps moving on. But the one thing I will say and tell them every day, thank the Lord above and no other for my older brothers. Got two brothers, 30 plus. Don't know how, but I ended up creeping on the same age.
Super good.
Thank you, man.
Man, you're really at one with that guitar. I think that's
Thank
like,
you.
man, you're not missing a beat with that thing. Like,
It's
I don't,
all magic, but it's all
seriously, like I'm like,
Thank you.
every tone, you know, is every hit, every hook, every breakdown.
Doesn't always happen that way. Doesn't always happen that way. So it just caught me on a lucky day.
Well, that's awesome, man.
So I appreciate it. You know, all this stuff. It's a labor of love. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I sit and just play music all the time, and you know, and that's. I mean, as times progress, you know, you get better. You learn things. You do new things. You try new things with the guitar. You try new things with your voice. What works, what doesn't, and then, you know, after a while, you just kind of narrow the things down that you feel works for you, and then just try to stay in those lines.
Yep.
You know?
Before I let you go, and I'm gonna try to say it, so please don't be offended. But you know, you don't have to play guitar, right? I mean, there's a million other things that you could be doing. I mean, you can't. I mean, you're not. You know, not out on money. You're not. You know, you have a lot of things in your life. You could be at the golf course. You could be doing a million other things, and you have played guitar this whole time. You know, and a point where you're still learning, right? Which a lot of people would have quit and said, screw this, I'd rather just go to the lake or do something, go fishing or do something else, you know, but you never gave up.
No, you know, and that to me, you know, like I am a hobby hopper. I team rope, did jiu-jitsu for a little while, golf, I mean, I shoot shotguns competitively, do all this stuff, have cattle on our cattle ranch, and I mean, it's all these things, you know, that you can do, but what do you do at 12 o'clock at night when you're, you know, just feeling down? You know what I mean? Why not play the guitar? And for me, you know, I look at a lot of artists and that don't play the guitar, good singers, but for anybody who is a good singer and a good songwriter, I would challenge them to really learn the guitar, because learning the guitar really does open up gigs for you, and opens up, you know, avenues for you to go out and sing and have to do it on your own and not rely on other people to show up to play guitar for you. So it's helped me out a bunch.
Well, thanks for stopping by here, and man, it's a real treat, and super impressed, of course.
Thank you very much.
All right, man. Very cool, man. This is Joe, and this is Billy at BTUFF.
BTUFF, bud.
Troubles will come.